exploring HeyLocal, a community solution. So whether you've been planning to get online for some day or never found the time, and this COVID thing came along and you kind of decided that maybe that wasn't for you, you know, and your plans are changing a bit more quickly, e-commerce may be a solution. It helps you to stay connected to your existing customers despite physical restrictions, and allows new customers to buy from you without leaving home. But it's not enough to just set up a shop online and expect the new customers to come flowing in. You still need sound. In a time when people can access the entire world online, that may seem a little overwhelming, and you may get sort of lost in the crowd. So unprecedented times call for community solutions. In our business community leaders, the presenting partners of the Xcelerate Summit stepped up. Today, we'll hear about how our community leaders pull together to find a business solution or a solution for businesses, and then the solution itself, HeyLocal, what it looks like for retailers, customers, and the community at large. So I'll introduce our panel in a moment, after which we'll hear their presentations, and then proceed directly to a Q&A session. In order to submit a question, please use the Q&A button that's at the bottom of your screen rather than the chat within your Zoom platform, and we will answer the questions and sort of moderate that with our panelists here. So again, if you have a question, put it in the Q&A. Hopefully we've got a few in there that we can start with very, very quickly. So joining us this afternoon are Dave Hyde, manager of the Small Business Center, which operates out of the Sandbox Center in Barrie, and also Justin Frenette, co-founder and director of operations at him and her founding partners of HeyLocal. Both excellent business partners in our local ecosystem, Justin obviously being new to it, but today's just an opportunity to kind of tell you more about it in detail and hopefully start the onboarding process and maybe answer some questions. So without further ado, I'm not sure who's starting first, but I'll let you guys take it away.
Sure. Well, thank you, Paul. I'll say a quick hello, if I may. Hi, everybody. Once again, my name is Dave Hyde. I'm the manager of the Small Business Center. Paul, thank you for inviting me on today. Delighted to be here. Delighted to be sharing the HeyLocal platform. Really, as Paul alluded to, this came out of some conversations that happened right around the beginning of the pandemic lockdown, when we started to look at how do we get more businesses online? How do we help businesses pivot? And there were a number of community discussions that went on. And on several occasions, it was suggested to us, and by us, I mean our ecosystem partners, the Chamber, the Sandbox, the BIA, Henry Bernick Center, etc., that there needed to be some sort of an online marketplace, some sort of a virtual platform where a consumer could shop from a number of different stores at once. And so the Xcelerate Summit Planning Committee, as we are, sort of put our thinking caps on, and we launched the Xcelerate Challenge. We basically put it out to the community and we said, hey, this is the problem statement, and we'd like you to submit your solutions. And we had 11 entrants, if you like, to the challenge, a number of which were very, very strong. We then convened a panel of independent judges. They looked over each of the entrants, which I should stress were all anonymous entrants. And so they were judged purely on the merits of the solution they were providing. And we were delighted when we discovered that the judges had selected HeyLocal as the solution. Having looked at the program and what you're about to see during Justin's presentation, I think it's a really solid, dynamic, extremely strong platform. We're very excited about the potential. We're very excited about the national potential that could be involved with HeyLocal as well. So without further ado, because I'm excited to hear what Justin has to say as well, I'm going to pass it over to Justin. But again, Justin, congratulations on the successful entry to the Xcelerate Challenge, and we're extremely excited to be working with you.
I appreciate that, Dave, and thanks for having me here, guys. I will take you guys through a demo, but to give you a little bit of background on why and where and how HeyLocal started, it really began as a conversation just like you guys were having around why doesn't a virtual marketplace for shopping local happen? One of our partners called us up and said, hey, I spent 45 minutes trying to buy bed sheets online, couldn't find a local store to buy them from, and I ended up ordering from Amazon. And it made them feel really sick because at a time when our businesses are in need, there just wasn't a convenient method. And that really highlighted a few problems. A, you know, it's very easy for us to rely on the big aggregators, and you've got a lot of people now getting forced into using e-commerce and they're building habits. You've got a lot of small businesses that either have e-commerce or are launching an e-commerce site, and they don't have the knowledge to build good search engine optimization so that if I type in bed sheets in Google, your website shows up. And they also don't necessarily, especially during COVID, have the funding or the know-how to run marketing campaigns to let the community know that they have an e-commerce store. And so we said, how can we create an app and a platform that solves this problem for not only our community, but what we realized is communities across Canada. We're passionate about the regions that we work in, and we run a digital marketing creative studio that deals with e-commerce and marketing a lot. And so we realized that to hit the most number of businesses, we would start with Shopify. So what we did is we went and we built a Shopify app that you can install in 5 minutes that pulls all of your products from your Shopify store onto the HeyLocal marketplace. And so I'll share my screen here and show you the marketplace, but our goal was to give the local consumer and business the same tools that they get on the big guys like Walmart, Amazon, etc. So okay. Dave, can you see my screen here?
Yes, I can, Justin.
Awesome. Okay, so this is HeyLocal. If you go to heylocal.ca, you can check it out. The first thing that happens when you visit HeyLocal is that it's going to ask you for a region. So this could be any city in Canada. And so, for example, our home base is Kitchener, Ontario. So when I select Kitchener, the whole site now is going to be filtered to a 50-kilometer or 100-kilometer radius of businesses that are surrounding Kitchener. And we do this by taking the address of your business, putting a lat long to it, and making sure that we're just showing relevant businesses. There's several options you'll see, like you may be used to on an Amazon type service. There's a search engine. There's also category searching that you can do. So when you upload your business to HeyLocal, you're going to choose a primary category, and then you can also assign products to secondary and third categories as well to help specify your product and allow users to find them. There's also special categories, we call them, that highlight businesses under relevant categories for time of year. We highlight businesses that have recently uploaded to the platform for your region. And we'll list any city partners that may be involved. And so in Kitchener, let's say that I was looking to buy some chocolate. I do a quick search. And this is going to show me any products that have chocolate in the name or in the company name. So in this case, I was looking for food. So I could, for example, filter my results just by food. And here what's happening is we're seeing product results from businesses in a 50-kilometer radius that are selling chocolate. So we've got a hot chocolate from Linjo Bakes. We've got this product from Lady Glazed Donuts. And so this now starts to allow customers to find you who may not already be aware of your brand or business. From here, they have a couple options they can choose. They could check out your profile. So here I can see the business that I just found a product for, logo, description, website, etc. I could also go back and I could choose to view the product. So what's unique about HeyLocal is that our focus is on discovery of your product and your brand, but then sending the consumer to you. So we don't take any transaction fees on any sales because the sale happens on your store. So if I wanted to buy this Reed's chocolate bouquet, I click the product, it opens it in a new tab on the customer's site. So it looks like they might have just taken that product down, but if we try the hot chocolate in this case, you'll see that it takes us direct to the product on this customer's site. So I could add it to the cart and check out. Now I've discovered you as a brand and I've purchased your product. Additionally, we've got a little heart here. If you wanted to do some various shopping, you could add items to your wish list, come back and reference it later to make those purchases after the fact. Again, if I check out a category, I could look under grocery as an example and check out what's under this category and explore. Finally, one last feature I'll show you is if you scroll down to the base of the site, there's a company directory. So if a consumer was interested in just seeing a list of businesses that are in the area or that are by a specific category, I can explore those businesses and check out their products as well. So very simple, very intuitive. And what I'll do now is I'll quickly show you what the Shopify app does. And while I cut over to Shopify, I wanted to highlight a few things that are on the way. So although our first launch was focused on a Shopify plugin, we are working on a number of really exciting initiatives. So the first is that we can manually upload businesses right now. And so if it's possible, I'll share this link for anybody that attended the event. And this is a form that you can fill out that allows you to tell us that you would like your site uploaded to the HeyLocal marketplace right away. So that's going to be useful if you're on a platform other than Shopify. And then additionally, in the next month or so, we're launching dedicated HeyLocal accounts. So you'll be able to go to heylocal.ca. You can register for an account, put in your business detail, upload a logo, and then you can export your products from any platform you're on that's not Shopify. So let's say it's WooCommerce, BigCommerce, Squarespace. There's many sites that offer e-commerce right now. You can export your products and then upload them into your account and publish those products. So you're just essentially linking a title, an image, a description, a price back to your own store. And then that's going to be the way that we get all other platforms onto HeyLocal. So if you want on today, you can install the Shopify app or reach out to us to get you manually added to the site, or you can wait a couple of weeks if you're not on Shopify and sign up for a HeyLocal account. So what I have here on my screen, anybody who has used Shopify before, Shopify, it's very simple. You've got orders, your products, customers, etc. But there's a section called apps. And what you're seeing here is that we are in the HeyLocal app. When you install the app, and this will be very similar to when accounts launch, there's two main areas you want to look at. There's your profile, which is where you're going to manage any logos, primary categories, delivery methods, descriptions, and social links. And then there's your publish tab, which is where you're going to manage any of your products that are live on the site. So if we look here, we can see that I chose tools as the primary category for this test store, and it has pulled in all of the products from Shopify. At any point, you can take these products and you can publish them to the HeyLocal marketplace. So as soon as you publish here, this product will now show up on the HeyLocal marketplace. And then as well, you can add products to specific categories. So let's say that I wanted to list a particular tool under, let's say one of my tools was for fixing camera gear. So I could add under electronics a product from my store. I add that product, and now it's live on the HeyLocal marketplace under that category. It's that simple, that fast, and that easy. And some other questions then to close it out for this demo would be the cost of the platform. So right now, HeyLocal, if you want to be manually uploaded to the site, is free. If you install the HeyLocal Shopify app, or if you sign up for a HeyLocal account in the coming weeks, we are offering the first 50,000 businesses a free base subscription to HeyLocal up until the end of 2020. And then after that, if you sign up after, let's say you sign up in 2021, the cost is $4.99 a month, with the option of us adding additional upgrade subscriptions in the future. And that's a quick introduction into HeyLocal. And I think it would be great if we wanted to open it up to any questions, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that's absolutely, it's fantastic. I know the platform itself. Sorry, I had my camera off. I got really low bandwidth around here, so when I shut the camera off, it seems to improve. If any of you guys can fix Rogers, I'd be really happy. In the meantime, this is fantastic, and I can see so many different applications for it. Even in speaking with some of our businesses, they do have an e-commerce platform, but the awareness of this is still a little low, which is why I'm excited about today's presentation, because it's going to hopefully get us a bit of a leapfrog out there. Is there any plan to promote this to local consumers? And I know that sounds kind of weird, but
absolutely. So our main strategy around promotion to local consumers is to first get a robust enough business listing. So that's why it's important that all businesses stand up together and get onto the platform, whether it's us manually uploading you or you signing up for the app. And also why we've made sure it's free for 2020, because when we start putting in effort to send consumers to the site, we want to make sure there's a good breadth of products, because we want to train them that, hey, no, this is a really excellent resource. I should check HeyLocal before I go to an Amazon or a Walmart, right? We're not trying to claim the impossible, right? People are still going to use Amazon and Walmart and these big guys, but our mission in the near future is to convince the local shopper to check HeyLocal first, right? That's a reasonable effort. And so once we get enough collection of businesses in some of the key categories, that's when we go and start our consumer marketing. So that involves communications with our partners, like the chamber, the BIAs, et cetera. That includes collaboration with some local influencers or ambassadors, we call them. We've seen really great support in the Waterloo region and Guelph from influencers who traditionally are paid influencers, but they have a passion for their community, and so they share this initiative. There'll be some minimal advertising budget spent on Facebook and AdWord ads for markets that we're entering in to build that consumer awareness. And then most important is, as all of you merchants and businesses sign up to the platform so that there's a good collection for the consumer to shop, you can all share on your social media as well. Because if we take 100 or 1,000 businesses in a region and they all talk about HeyLocal, you're naturally going to hit all the varying demographics of that region from the different stores. And that's really going to provide a great organic marketing effort to build consumer awareness.
Yeah, which is really cool. And again, I mean, you declare the area that you're in. So if it was Barrie, we would say Barrie, but there's also the capability of buying products that are in Vancouver or in Kitchener. Like, you have that from a business perspective, that expandability. And that's why this is such a cool app. It's still Canadian local and not necessarily giving our business away to Amazon and there's other big guys, but opportunity obviously to take part in local across the country.
Exactly. Yeah.
Cool.
It's a great tourism tool in that manner. It's a great, your parents or maybe your son or daughter lives in a different city. You can now find a local flower shop that's right in their region.
That's very cool. Very neat.
Yeah.
So another question here from one of our people is, can I import inventory from my Amazon or eBay seller accounts? That's
a great question. So right now the imports for simplicity are going to be a provided template. So whatever you have the ability to bulk export, it'll be a simple copy and paste of your columns for title, image URL, price, and product URL into our template, and then you can upload right away. Our future roadmap, if we talk 6 to 12 months down the line, we will, add support for direct import of export files from the top platforms so that you don't need to do that copy and paste. we will start to build out plugins for those other platforms like WooCommerce, BigCommerce. But right now that'll be a simple copy and paste as long as you can export your catalog from those marketplaces.
Right. So for the most part, as this thing starts to get some legs, you know, and it's in this runway kind of mode, you know, people that join up as businesses should be patient, because, you know, it's going to take a bit of time to get it rolling. There's really no cost in there. It doesn't hurt to have your stuff out there, but you may not see an immediate kind of kick coming back from this until it starts to hit those consumer bases and and really starts to fly. So that's good. I mean, this is something, my concern when I heard about the virtual marketplace is that we had something that was designed just for the COVID time, and expandability into post-COVID is important. This needs to be a tool that everybody can use.
Yeah, and that's important to us as well. That's really one of the other aspects we got into it, is that everything seemed very help right now, or the alternative, you know, there's a Shop KW in our region. And the problem is that everybody locally then needs to know about that local platform. Our vision is that because we're a national platform, there's a higher chance that it takes off organically for the average consumer, so that there is that trust and awareness at the same level as the big guys. And it's important that we get those profits back into your guys' hands, right? Amazon doesn't sponsor your local soccer team. Small businesses like us do. And we really think that there's a national kind of emotional want to support this right now, and they just need the tool to do it. There's also some, you know, really great initiatives that we're working on in terms of potential partnerships with logistics companies that are coming down the line, right? There's a discovery problem, but then there's also how do you get these products shipped to your local consumer quickly and cost effectively to compete with that Amazon Prime type competition you're seeing. And some other exciting announcements that'll come for the platform in the coming weeks.
That's fantastic. And hey, Kelsey, if you're listening, I think Justin just said that he's going to join our golf tournament. So you may want to reach out to him. So what about managing it? Does the business owner do that, or does HeyLocal?
So for managing the listings, if you, let's say, reach out to us right now to upload your products manually through us, that's kind of a one-time upload. So what I would recommend is take your top products that gives a good variety of your store and upload those. If you are on Shopify, or when you get accounts, what's great about the native Shopify integration is that it is real time. So as you add products, delete products, it's going to update HeyLocal. You change your price, the price is going to update. The accounts that are going to launch in the next couple of weeks is a bit more manual. So once you export your products and upload them, if you change your prices, delete a bunch of products, add new products, you will need to log back into HeyLocal and update them. But that was the easiest way we could see supporting every other platform other than Shopify right now.
Gotcha. Okay.
And then another item coming down the line is we're going to go through a round to see how we can better list service-based businesses. So the focus is obviously right now on purchasable products, but we are exploring how do we build a great user experience for exploring businesses that are offering services. Okay,
good. Because we had a direct question from one of our listeners on how is HeyLocal accepting service-based businesses. So that'll be something that's further down the road. And I would imagine that might be something that may even be of interest to nonprofits that have event-based listings from time to time where they're selling tickets to things.
Exactly.
You could have a nonprofit space in there as well that would be able to list their wares, services, products as they come online.
Yep, and we're flexible. So yeah, that exact scenario of, events as a category is a great example. When manual accounts are created, then it's easy for you to, upload a title called fundraising event ABC. Here's an image, here's a link to the Eventbrite page where you can pay. And now you've got your not-for-profit listed, you've got your event listed. So if you ever see what you believe is a primary category that would be valuable to HeyLocal, we're open to take that feedback. We really want to listen to the businesses and help build a platform that's going to help those businesses strive now and into the future.
Yeah. Okay. Because I know I'd sent somebody your way to talk about ChemFest and a few different things in there. But again, you know, you want to make sure that we're not creating a competition space where other you know, businesses are drawing away from the local experience within Barrie, to be a little protectionist in a certain way. But there's a question in here with regards to, I guess one advantage to assume is that HeyLocal won't compete with companies on the platform as Amazon does.
Exactly. So that's a great question, and that's a great point, is that we see value in giving that data back to the consumer. So unlike Amazon, who everybody knows it, you start selling a bar of soap, it sells really well, all of a sudden they're selling it as a prime item. That's never our intention. Our intention is to give you the tool to compete. And so we see, when we talk about future, let's say, upgrade packages, you know, an extra $5 a month, that might include things like view local search results, right? So you can see what's trending in your area, what might be missing as a business. We want to give that data back to the business affordably versus us profiteering from that aggregated data.
And that's good to hear. I got a comment from the Downtown BIA. They're super excited to spread the word to get it out to all businesses, and get all of our businesses on board. Totally understand that we won't see the immediacy for Barrie, but how long could it potentially take to get a substantial list of businesses? Previously, how long did it take in Kitchener and Guelph? You know, so I had a conversation with a Downtown BIA member as a part of our normal retention calls, and that business has an online platform, and I've already directed them back to HeyLocal, but the awareness wasn't there. And you know, there's a lot of businesses downtown that I think could probably join right away and get onboarded pretty quickly. So I guess what's your answer from timelines?
That's a great question. So I would say we got to about 200 businesses in Kitchener-Waterloo in about, I would call it, a month and a half. But what we did find is that the app takes 5 minutes to install. It's very quick. But every small business is very busy right now. They are stressed. They got a lot on their plate. And so why it's important we have partners like the chambers and the BIAs is to hit them multiple times on social media, on newsletters, through these webinars to highlight the value of why it's worth that time. And then also for our team and local partners to reach out to those businesses via Instagram and emails. We've seen the highest success in reaching out via Instagram to communicate with these businesses. But it does bring up a good point in that even with that, it still does take that time then to convince enough of these businesses to spend that 5 minutes to sign up. So what we are exploring, finishing building right now is there's two items. There's that manual upload tool. So that's just a great way for you to give us your products to upload for you. But we're also exploring auto adding businesses. So if anybody's ever been on Yelp or Yellow Pages, you know that your business is typically listed on those services, and then you can go and claim those businesses. We're right now building a tool that would grab all websites in a region, and if they sell products, we would auto add them to HeyLocal, and then we would reach out to say, hey, we've added your business and a couple of your products to the marketplace. Would you like to sign up and manage your products? So we're looking at how we can automate the addition of shops to the platform on scale, so the consumer has enough breadth of product quantity to shop at to accelerate that movement. Because now that the consumer has enough products to shop, there's going to be consumer traffic, which will entice more businesses to sign up. So we still absolutely need businesses to sign themselves up and sign up for the account, but we are exploring the automated addition of websites by crawling their sites. So that's also kind of an open question for people on the line to see if you would be open to that process. If all of a sudden your products were on HeyLocal, would you view that as helpful, or would you view that as problematic?
Okay, so I think maybe Paul's feed has frozen there. So I'll jump into the fray here, and we can get through some more of these questions. But that's actually a good point that you put up there, Justin. And if anybody after the call has thoughts on that, and you want to feed it back to me, or to the chamber, to push that information, your thoughts and opinions on that back to Justin, then please feel free to let us know. Looks like Paul's just connected here, but we have I guess a specific question here. Basically, choose a different. Oh, I think we have a little bit of feedback there.
Yeah, sorry.
That's okay, no problem. So Justin, if someone were to choose a different category for a specific product, other than their primary category, would it show in both? And can I add a product to multiple categories if it fits in a few? So I think that's two separate questions there.
Yep.
But the first one specifically being if they had a product in a different category for a specific product, and would it show in their primary category as well?
Yeah, so for simplicity, when we launched, we made vendors choose a primary category. So as soon as you select a primary category, all of your products go under that category. And then you can add your product to as many other categories as you want. I would say in the probably 2 months time, once we get through creating the accounts and some of the other features we're working on, we're going to come back and update it so that you select the categories for all the products and you don't require, and we don't auto tag a primary. We realize that there is a subsection of businesses where they're selling many different things, not just clothing, not just food. So short answer is right now, all your products show under your primary category. You can add a product to as many other subcategories as you like. In the future, we're going to clean it up so that we don't force you to have all your products under one primary category. So that'll just clean that up a bit.
Okay.
Good.
Paul, I see you're back online with us. I'll hand back to you.
Sure, thanks. I appreciate that. Oh, hang on. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yes.
Good. Okay. Sorry, I appreciate that. Sorry, I just went on my cell, so I got my phone going on one and audio on the other. Look like I'm a technical genius, but I'm really not.
This is the world we live in.
Exactly. So you started with Shopify. It's the e-commerce. Is that the e-commerce platform that you would recommend?
It is what we would recommend for a couple of reasons. One, they've reinstated with the Canadian government I forget which program it is specifically, but the 90-day free trial. Second, the Shop Here program from Digital Main Street, in partnership with a lot of small business centers across Canada, does have programs to bring your e-commerce site online for you. And we are collaborative with them. So they help you get online, then you install HeyLocal so people can find you. And just as a marketing agency on the other side, it's our #1 platform we implement and recommend to clients. For its ease of use, its rich plugin ecosystem, its integration with all kinds of platforms, especially in particular HeyLocal, obviously. But there's a great collection of themes. Honestly, I believe on the HeyLocal Add Your Business page on the website, we link you to a Shopify, I believe it's called Compass, is their online learning platform. There's a training program there that'll show you how to get your Shopify site up in, I think it's 24 or 48 hours. It's a no-brainer. We have many clients that either have turned on e-commerce now, or we launched e-commerce right before the new year, and it's the main reason they're surviving right now during COVID. The one company you saw, Reed's Chocolates, did more revenue during the Christmas season than he did all the year prior online. And so you really can't ignore this anymore. It is the future, not only now to help survive COVID, but to compete with the big guys. I think Amazon just now, I forget what the stat is, I think they own 50% of online sales. You also think about the habits that people are forming. There's many people who didn't shop online before, and now they are. And so do you want them learning the habit of going to Amazon, or do you want them to shop local? And then also, you think about, we've got Christmas coming up, whether there's we continue through the phases and things open up more, or there's a, heaven forbid, another lockdown, it's another reason to be prepared and have an e-commerce store. HeyLocal allows customers now to browse your catalogs before they come to the store, so they can come prepared if they don't want to buy online as well.
Great.
Yeah,
Just,
I would.
just to build off that as well, if I may, thank you, Justin, for mentioning the Shop Here program, which is a great way for business owners to get online. But also locally, our great partners at the Sandbox recently launched their Experts in Residence program, and one of their partnerships through that is direct with Shopify. So if you if you're familiar with the Sandbox, then you can access their services that way. If not, I suggest you become familiar with the Sandbox very quickly. They have great suite of services there, and you can directly access their Shopify experts. We all learn in different ways. We all get to our destination in different ways. So it's another route towards getting your Shopify site up and running. So reach out to the folks at the Sandbox.
Yeah, and I would say, we got a question that came in through the chat from Peter Ferreira, because everybody can see it. Is I've been on the call, I've signed up. I love it. Simple. Is there a way that I can upload my active in-stock products rather than going through each item as I have many SKUs? He also makes the comment that it's a Canadian success story. So that's another good point with this.
Yeah, I appreciate that. So inventory is a great question. We've found a primary issue with Shopify, and I'm going to try and not be too technical, is that when you, let's say, change your product price, a webhook fires. So it's kind of like a poke. So Shopify says, hey, HeyLocal, somebody updated their product, which allows us to update it on the website. When you sell your last pair of shoes and your inventory goes to zero, Shopify doesn't tell us that. It doesn't give us a poke. And so it's hard for us then to say, okay, that product's out of stock now, take it off of HeyLocal. So in our mind, most products that you're selling, I would say, this will be a generalization, are probably going to become back in stock in a couple of days or a couple of weeks. So we don't view that as an issue. The consumer now is still going to learn that, hey, Bob's Shoes exists and they have a pair of shoes I want. When I go to their site and see it's out of stock, okay, that's a bit of a bummer, but I will probably explore the rest of your site to see if there's other shoes I like or come back. So we don't necessarily view out of stock items as a problem on the HeyLocal marketplace, because it's really a form of advertising.
Sure, absolutely. Anytime you got somebody coming to your site, I think it's a plus. So another question here, and again, it's similar to that question. I wouldn't want my products to automatically show up in case I didn't have stock available. Instead, would prefer an email saying people want my products, and I should all of them type of thing.
Yeah. So can I assume that's in response to us like automatically scraping websites? And if it is, I think it would be the same answer in that I wouldn't be overly concerned. It's really product/brand awareness. So even if we did go and add your products and they ended up being in stock, I still think it's a value add, because that's now free marketing that you wouldn't have got otherwise through running ads or people finding you on Google.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, I'll just give you a little example locally of how that sort of putting something up and then somebody having to claim it. The Barrie Beaches, one of the reasons why they got so many hits is because it was a Google, when you did a Google search for Barrie Beaches, they all popped up, but the city hadn't claimed those sites. So they had no control over them, right? So they were still showing up and you're getting web hits, but it does work. You put a search in, something's going to show up. Yeah. Somebody's asking if I have two businesses, is there a way I can link them together on the site?
So on the HeyLocal marketplace right now, no. The best strategy I would say is make sure that your sites reference one another on the sites themselves. So if I go to, if Bob's Shoes also runs Bob's Refurnishing Furniture, then I would just make sure your website itself references one another, or maybe like in your order emails. I would say that I would be responsible, or even you could add it to your HeyLocal description. If you kind of define the fact that this company's in partnership with another, you could put a link to another business as well.
Okay, Good. So there's a question here about any restrictions on the kind of businesses that are able to sign up for HeyLocal. Kind of touched on service-based businesses. I think that's what this question is around, but are there any other restrictions that we should know about?
So at this time, no. There's likely, we have some breweries and distilleries. Likely, with recent legalization, there may be, the addition of marijuana companies that may end up on. So we have to explore that. Same with any sensitive content type companies we'd have to explore. So right now there's no restrictions from being added on, but we do monitor the site. And the main concern there would likely be restrictions on the home page or the primary searches for certain categories of sites, just because we do attract a broad audience to the site. So
yeah, in other words, you don't want something showing up on the front page that shouldn't be showing up on the front page.
Yeah. Right now we manually monitor and manually enforce. As we grow, some of that will become automated, but yeah.
Okay, and then a comment or a question about what about marketing companies to offer this to our clients?
Yeah, I think it's an absolute value add, right? It's free right now. If you're looking at how to bring value to your clients, just like we are as a marketing agency, I think it's a no-brainer. If you manage Shopify stores for agencies, that was the first round of testing we did, is we went to all of our partners that we've developed Shopify sites for and convinced them to install it. And we got to test it out with them. But yeah, I think it's a great way for you to add value and to help them in their business right now. Cool.
And one of the things that I sort of came up or thought about when we were initially just sort of discussing this, and I got involved a little late, was the sort of the concept of badging. So you've got local companies in Barrie that are members of the BIA, members of the chamber, members of the sandbox, maybe done something with a small business center. The ability to badge on your company page that you're a member organization. Not something, I'm not sure if that's something that you guys have explored, but that badging often adds value and certain amount of credibility to the company because they're accredited.
Yep. Well, I think that's a great idea that's been brought up a couple times before. So short answer is yes, we're definitely interested in that. I think that's where our partnerships will come in handy to get business lists to work to kind of, what would I say, like manually on a certain interval, go through and apply those tags to businesses. We're also looking at an integration with Google Places. So everybody knows when you Google a business, they show up in the Google results and you get that star rating. We're looking at an integration with that as well, since that's becoming a more and more trusted version of a business. So that not only, certifies that you are local because Google sends you a postcard to get listed like that. It also gives you that star rating. So a bit of kind of community clout behind it. It's not necessarily applicable to all businesses, but that's another angle we're looking at.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, every time you think about this, the ideas, and I'm sure this is every day for you, start spinning about how you can, make this platform even more better than it already is. That's pretty cool. I don't have any other questions that are sitting in the queue from the. Oh, actually, one just popped up from our listeners. We do have a bit of time left. Well, the question is Paul and Dave. Yeah, that's Paul and Dave. I can't. I'm not sure what the question is. 1 second here. Yeah, no, she hasn't put the question in yet. So unfortunately, I don't have that one there. But is there anything else that we haven't covered off that maybe you want to take a couple of minutes on? We did cover off a little bit about the digital Main Street. That's kind of neat. We've got a couple other local initiatives that we're kind of working on at the moment as well. Nope, questions pop back up again. Hang on. If I add a sale to a product in Shopify, will it automatically update in HeyLocal? And then when does it go back to normal? Will it update again?
That is a great question. So I do believe we always pull the minimum value for a product, especially if you have a variant product as an example, a t-shirt, you pick small, medium, large, we always pick the lowest price. So I do believe if you applied a sale to an item, that would poke HeyLocal saying that product has been updated, and then that would return to us the new lowest price, which should be the sale price. There could be a scenario, let's say you just discounted the large t-shirt and there's still a small t-shirt that's cheaper. That wouldn't necessarily show, but all of those kind of like real-time, more accurate reflections of what's on your site will come down the line. Our goal right now is just to get the user to find the product, and then we send them to your store where they'll get all the more accurate details, the accurate pricing, the variations, etc.
Right. Yeah, it's more of a vehicle just to get them looking at you.
Yeah.
When will the HeyLocal, when will the updates, when will the updated HeyLocal social kit be available for us to share?
So if you go on heylocal.ca, there is a media kit there now. So those resources are a little bit dated at this point. I know we have the team working on a new round of social assets this week. So I would say, call it in 2 weeks, there'll be a new round of social media assets.
Okay, and I know that we've been working with Sandbox and David and his team in developing. Jesse's been working on sort of some social media on the whole process, how to register if you have a e-commerce site, if you don't, so that will tie you into the what do you call it? I'm drawing
like up front.
The digital Main Street process. Yeah. Okay. Sorry. So that's coming out as well. So those things are going to be popping up very shortly. And that's kind of cool. We will go in and have a look at those media assets as well and see what we can share through the chamber. Last question that I have in here again is, how would a marketing company get more info to offer this for their clients? So I would imagine they would contact, Dave or somebody at the Sandbox to sort of get the right direction to get on board with that, correct?
Yeah, if the information wasn't in the media kit that they needed, then Dave or even direct to info@heylocal.ca, we could help provide assets to share with clients.
Right, good. So we've provided in the chat box the contact information for uploading a request form. Justin put that in. We've also got contact information for Sandbox Center and also contact for Digital Main Street. So please go into the chat box and save the chat so you have that stuff written in there. Oh, and I got another question popping in the chat here. Who do we reach out to if we have any additional questions? Okay, well, that's pretty much, we just answered that question there. Just reach out to the Sandbox Save Hides group, and they should be able to answer those questions directly. With that, I think we'll end the question from the field. Is there anything else that you guys wanted to add before we get into our closing remarks?
From my perspective, I just want to say thanks for everybody's time. I know everybody's busy. I appreciate you taking time out of your day to hear about HeyLocal. I hope that everybody signs up. I see somebody just said that the forum needs permission. I'll fix that for you guys in a couple minutes here. But yes, thank you for your time. We're passionate about small businesses, so I hope everybody signs up. I hope everybody gets e-commerce going if it's possible for your business. And thank you.
Yeah, same here. I mean, guys, thank you for having me on the call today. Justin, again, very excited to be partnering with you and excited to see this roll out. And to everyone listening, spread the word. Let's get to that magic amount of Barrie businesses on as soon as possible, so we can get this thing really pushed out there and really launched, get that critical mass. If I can be of any assistance, please feel free to reach out to me, or of course, if it's more of a technical nature around your product listing, then obviously reach out to Justin, and we'll both be happy to help.
Perfect, that's great. So again, thank you very much, gentlemen, for being with us today. In closing, thank you for joining us, to our attendees or participants, and for the work that you're doing in your business every day. We urge every leader in our community to continue their focus on slowing the pace of the transmission of this coronavirus, no matter what stage of opening your business may be in. Both federal and provincial governments have enacted measures that will only be effective if all employers step up and do their part to protect our provincial health and welfare. The Barrie Chamber is here to help you through this. Please feel to email us or call us if you need something more. We implore everyone to shop local. We need more now than ever to support our local businesses, whether it's in the takeout form from a restaurant or gift certificates to help businesses ride out the storm. A little bit helps. So obviously, joining the HeyLocal movement. I won't touch too much on Canada United or Barrie Together, but Those are two other programs that are running as well that all focus on buying local. So if you look at the amount of focus that's on that, obviously it's important. So continue to keep doing that. And again, if you have more questions, let us know. And again, with social distancing measures and precautions continuing to be announced, please ensure that you continue to follow all requirements and take them seriously. The Chamber is constantly updating our website with new information. We're very happy to be in stage 3 now, but our main priority is to stay there and keep our community safe. It's our responsibility to do our part, and we thank everybody for doing theirs. And with that, I guess we'll say goodbye and have a great day, and we'll see you again soon.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, everybody.
Yes. Bye-bye.
Bye now.